Joining us now for a reaction from House Financial Services and Small Business, he's Pennsylvania Congressman Dan Meuser. You know, we're going to show the details on double-digit inflation. So the ABC moderators did not dig into this. Inflation is slamming American families. Look at food, up almost 22%. All shelter costs up almost 23%. It was such a tragedy and such a disgrace that the ABC moderators did not even have these facts at their fingertips. Go ahead, Congressman.
Okay. Well, I couldn't agree with you more. The ABC moderators were served more or less as surrogates for the Harris campaign. David Muir, particularly on the crime issue, that was outrageous. His numbers were wrong. It was wrong for him to inject himself in that manner, and his numbers were incorrect as he tried to embarrass and correct President Trump. So they really should be ashamed of themselves. And on our subject here, on inflation, what you're saying is absolutely correct. I mean, look, they caused inflation. Biden-Harris caused inflation. The wildly excessive spending, the assault on our energy, and as the Fed tried to deal with it by keep raising interest rates, they were pushing against the ocean as well. And the higher interest rates also add to inflation, right? It's added costs. The costs of banking, the costs of buying a home have escalated.
So, you know, it's like plowing the ocean when it comes to massive government spending and then the Fed having to race with rate hikes to stop inflation. Trump and Harris, they really hit it hard over the economy last night's debate. Watch this.
Yeah. Donald Trump left us the worst unemployment since the Great Depression.
Things are 50, 60, 70, and 80% higher than they were just a few years ago. This has been a disaster for people, for the middle class, but for every class. You know, she's trying to get away from Biden. I had no inflation, virtually no inflation. They had the highest inflation perhaps in the history of our country, because I've never seen a worse period of time. People can't go out and buy cereal or bacon or eggs or anything else. The people of our country are absolutely dying with what they've done. They've destroyed the economy. She doesn't have a plan. She copied Biden's plan, and it's like 4 sentences, like run, spot, run. 4 sentences that are just, oh, we'll try and lower taxes. She doesn't have a plan. Take a look at her plan. She doesn't have a plan.
Yeah, you know, by the way, Biden and Harris, they inherited from Trump 4.1% GDP growth. That was in the fourth quarter of 2020. They inherited 1.4% inflation, 2.7% mortgage rates, gas at $22.40 a gallon. So 0 questions and pushback on Kamala Harris, you know, not taking into account the pandemic and what she inherited. 0 questions about how she wants $5 trillion in tax hikes. 0 questions on Kamala's plan to raise small business taxes to 28%. I mean, right out of the gate, her first answer showed she didn't know the difference between a tax deduction and a tax credit.
Yeah. It's one big con, right? Here they state that they make up figures related to where we were coming out of the pandemic. And then Trump has a plan. We've seen his plan. It's all about pro-growth of the private sector. Kamala's plan is pro-growth of the public sector and price controls and trying to blame it on gas stations and grocery stores. America just needs to be informed, and we will have Donald Trump as president.
Congressman Meuser, thanks for joining us. It's good to see you.